be recorded. So whenever I go to read, I will take a deep breath. And what I'm doing when I do that, it's instantaneous, but I'm spinning my chakras and I'm expanding my aura, right? I do it instantaneously. When you take classes, when you're learning to do it, it does take a little bit longer until it's muscle memory. You get into the habit of doing it. As I expand, spirits come to me on the left. Mediums are different. Mediums get spirits different ways. My spirits come to me on the left. As I expand, I see a whole group of spirits over here. Now, whenever you come to me for a one-on-one reading, there's a couple things I tell you. Let go of who you think might step up. Just because you were not connected to someone on earth doesn't mean you're not connected to them once you transition. And I tell you that, if you have grandchildren or if you have children, let's say you have children, and you pass, heaven forbid, you transition and pass before your child has grandbabies. Now, do you think once your child has grandbabies from the other side, are you going to be around that grandbaby? Absolutely. You're going to be haunting the tar out of that baby in a good way. It's the same thing. So I say, let go of who you think might step up, because everyone thinks they know exactly who is going to step forward first. Now, the reason I say that also is because whenever you come for a one-on-one reading, I don't bring up just one spirit unless we get to one and you say, you know what, I just want to talk to my husband. I don't want to talk to anyone else. And then I don't bring up anyone else. Otherwise, we start rolling through the spirits. So with me, you tend to get the ones that are kind of outliers because they know I'm not going to stop there. I'm just going to keep bringing them up. Now, if you go to another medium who is only used to bringing up one or two spirits at a time, they might only bring up your one grandmother, husband, whatever. So I also say, if you have to request someone, blame me. I've had so many people come to me and I will bring up whoever it is. And they say, oh, thank goodness the last medium I saw said they were stuck. I'm sorry, what? When you transition, you're going home. You don't get stuck. You don't get lost on your way home. You have people meeting you. When you transition, you have past relatives, you have a guide, you have angels, you have people meeting you. And if you talk to anyone who has had a near-death experience, they will say that they met people. You have people waiting to help you cross over. You do not get stuck on the way. You don't get lost because you're going home. Okay, so now I say that because I just reach over, like right now, there's a ton of people. I'm about to grab one. Matter of fact, they made the decision as I was talking who was going to first. Is the gentleman. He had stepped away from the crowd and stepped forward. So, but I say, if you have to request the person that you really want to see, blame me, because I just am grabbing spirits. Your loved ones are always around you. Your loved ones love you, and there is no way they're not around you. Even if y'all had an argument before you passed, even if y'all had a knockdown drag out and y'all weren't talking before they transitioned, it doesn't matter. They're in heaven. There is forgiveness. There is unconditional love. So they understand the bigger picture. Okay, so now this gentleman stepping up. How do I know it's a gentleman? So you get information from spirit through your clairs, claircognizance, clear knowing, clairvoyance, clear vision, clear audience, clear hearing, clear sentience, clear feeling. I just know this guy is a male. He stepped up, so he has a male energy. Now, as he is stepping up, he was relatively young when he passed. How do I know that? Because I'm not seeing his face yet. I'm just seeing his body. He has a young body. He's also taking responsibility for his passing. So we have a male who was younger. When I say younger, sometimes spirits give me ages and sometimes not. Now I'm pressing this guy. I was like, really? How young were you? So I'm not getting an exact age, but I'm feeling he's saying, I'm getting the feeling that was around my age, give or take. I'm 55. So he would have been in his 40s to mid 50s. I'm seeing that he left people behind and he is showing me some children. And there is a woman. But whenever I'm talking about a woman, is it a wife? I'm not convinced it was a wife. So now I'm telling y'all things that I would not say. If you came to me for a paid reading, I wouldn't say some of this. I would just say what I am definitely sure about. I'm definitely sure he left children behind. There is a female figure. Now, I know that he loved this woman, so she was either his wife at one point, or he just loved her and they had a relationship that functioned like a marriage. He is letting me know as he's stepping forward that it was a split-second decision when he took his, and he's shaking his head like, I never should have done it. I never should have done it. It wasn't something that he planned. So this was not a gentleman that had mental illness who you would have known to have had several suicide attempts and tried to take himself off this planet several times. This isn't something I would say if this was a paid reading. I would just say, oh, this gentleman is letting me know it's a split-second decision. But I know it was a split-second decision because he claircognizantly let me know it wasn't something that he had planned. He hasn't been over there very long. I know that because, how do I know that? Sometimes I have to even stop because when spirits start using their clairs, a lot of them at one time, as a medium, you just start throwing out the information. You don't stop and really think about how you're getting it. You just know you're getting it. So this gentleman, I just know he's just telling me that he has not been over there very long. It's raw. That's how I know it. I was like, how do I know that? I am feeling very raw with grief. So it's new grief. I see people that are just around him shaking their head like he had everything. He had everything. He's letting me know he was a good looking guy, or at least in his eyes, he was a good looking guy. I'm seeing girls around him. When I went back and said that he had left some children behind, right then when he said that, I saw a daughter, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't, because a lot of times as I'm giving you the information the spirit is giving me, that's the reason there's no lag time. As I am rattling off my mouth, they're feeding it to me. And so now he's circling back and showing me again the original picture he showed me when I said that I saw children. He used my clairvoyance and showed me a picture of children, and he's taking me back to that same picture, and I'm seeing a daughter. At least one. He left more than one child behind, but there is a daughter involved. He is also showing me, like, there was a lot of so he just used my claircognizance. And sometimes when spirits use my claircognizance, I say they drop a book in because it's connected to the crown chakra and they can just boom, dump information in. And then I have to siphon through it to give it to you. So I know there was a lot of tumultuousness in his life. Like I'm seeing in-laws and ex-in-laws. And so, it's one of these people who had lived life and feels like there was a divorce involved, but I'm just seeing a lot of people that had functioned in different manners in his life. He is, all of a sudden, he showed me, no, I'm going to say this guy is from the Midwest somewhere. How do I know that? He dropped a map of the United States in my head and zoned into the middle. Sometimes I can just feel energetically, people feel energetically. Okay, Marcy just said possibly my daughter, brother-in-law. Okay, daughter's brother-in-law. Okay. Marcy, unmute yourself.
Hi there.
Hi. Okay, so now, did you know this gentleman to play golf?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now when someone claims my spirit, especially only when it's in a group, if you come for one-on-one, you're going to know because I'm talking to you. But when it's a group event and someone claims the spirit, the second I read that comment from Marcy, I want more confirmation. Why? Because we have a group. This gentleman can belong to someone else. Now, Corey just said, sounds like my sister-in-law's ex-husband. Perfect way to demonstrate this. Okay, Marcy, stay on. Corey, unmute yourself. Where's Corey? Oh, there she is. Okay. Oh,
there we go.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now all the information fit. Now, when I tapped Marcy and I tapped him, he showed me playing golf. Now, did Buddy play golf?
That I'm not 100% sure of.
Okay, so now this is perfect demonstration, people. Okay, so now intuitively, I know just because whenever Marcy clicked on, I was like, okay. And then I read Corey's comment. I tapped into Corey's comment, dead energy. It means the spirit doesn't belong to Corey. Now, y'all don't know that. But now what I am doing is I'm like, oh, there is a buddy over there. I'm holding this one spirit. I'm holding him. I want him to stay here. And I'm telling y'all that because I'm also telling him. Now I'm scanning for Buddy. I was like, okay, is Buddy over there? Come on, Buddy. I have a spirit stepping forward towards leaving the crowd and stepping forward. This guy is much cockier than Marcy's person. Marcy, who is your person? What's his name?
Curtis.
Curtis. Okay. I just want to make sure I can keep these people straight. Okay. So now when Buddy steps forward, he's cocky. Curtis was not. Curtis was confident, but he wasn't ego cocky. Now, how do I know that Buddy was cocky? Because he comes sauntering up to me. He's like, you rang? I was like, oh, dude, please. Come on. Now, do spirits flirt with me? Absolutely. Why do they flirt? To show their personality. Okay, so now Corey, Buddy would have been someone who was a drinker. He was kind of cocky, very full of himself. He wasn't mean though. Like some people, some men are like mean and cocky and I know everything. He wasn't like that. He was cocky in a flirtatious manner. Charming is what I would call him. Okay, does that fit him, Corey? Okay, so now Corey, hang tight because now I have two spirits, right? I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take Buddy. I'm just going to hold him right here. And I'm going to come back to Curtis. Okay, the second I circle back to Curtis, Curtis is letting me know, Marcy, that someone was supposed to be here today that is not here. Did you invite someone that is not here today?
Invite someone
To be on this Zoom event that is not here today.
I don't know if they've joined or not, but oh, yes. As a matter of fact, my son-in-law, Marcus.
Okay, very good. So now once Marcy said my son-in-law, Marcus, his energy changed and I just got a feel for the personality. He did that clairsentiently. Now, why is he doing that? Because he's giving me a feel for his relationship with Marcy's son-in-law. So the relationship with Marcy's son-in-law was kind of, he's saying something like, that dumbass, but he's saying it in a funny manner. That's the way they teased each other. So now Curtis is saying, oh my goodness. Okay, so he's teasing Marcus, calling him a dumbass and saying he's afraid. He's like, what does he think's going to happen? So that tells a little bit about Curtis's relationship with Marcus. I had to stop and think what this is. I don't know why I have such a hard time. Also, now he is getting into an area. Now, if this was Marcy on my screen, just her, I would not have an issue with what I'm about to say. Because there is a group of people here, it's a small community, I'm going to choose my words very carefully, right? Marcy, he's letting me know that Marcus has been struggling with the relationships around him. And it's because he's not processing the grief. Now, if Marcy's with me for a one-on-one appointment, I would tell her exactly who this relationship is and what the struggle is, but I'm not going to do that because there's a lot of people here. I'm going to assume that she knows what I'm talking about. Also, Marcus needs to change jobs. This job that he's at is not serving him. He's showing me, now how do I know that? Because I felt it. And he actually dropped a Band-Aid. What does a Band-Aid mean? All mediums have different symbols. Whenever someone drops a Band-Aid in, when I'm talking about a job, it tells me that this job that Marcus is in was just a Band-Aid. It was just something to bridge the gap between what he was doing and what he's meant to do. It was the right job for him. He should be in it. Now it's time to move. I'm nosy. I asked the spirit, why isn't Marcus moving? Marcus doesn't like transition. Marcus doesn't like change. And so He's one of those people, and there is no judgment for me, because if y'all have ever heard me talk, I frequently have to have spirit hit me on the head with a 2x4. Don't be like me. Listen to spirit. But Marcus is someone that will have to be hit on the head by a 2x4, because he is feeling uncomfortable with this job. It's making him cranky. So Marcus is being very cranky because he is not processing his grief, and he doesn't like his job, but he's not making any changes. He's just, I just feel tightening up in my whole core. Like I'm just holding it all in. I'm just tightening up. So now let Marcus know that he needs to start putting feelers out. He needs, and if he started putting feelers out right now, I'm hearing it would be about 4 months before he gets the job he wants. Now, why do I know 4 months? Because he showed me the number 4. He actually used my clairvoyance and wrote the number 4. Now, sometimes if it's something else, I will have to stop and tap. Does that mean 4 days? And if you've seen me read, you'll see that's okay. Is that 4 days, 4 months? And I just have to keep saying it until my clairsentience goes off and says, yep, that's it. I just knew it was 4 months. Also, if Marcus does not start putting out feelers right now, that energy will shift and it will be further and further out before he gets his job, if that makes sense. Sometimes we have to create energy around things that we want. Also, okay, so the holdup just now is he completely shifts subjects on me because he knew I was about to let him go. The spirits are in my head. They know I'm about to switch over to another spirit. This is a group event. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time with this guy. And so I was moving my energy from him, and he tried to grab me back. In my head, I said, make it quick. He dropped in a picture of kids. He has a message for his kids. Now I'm seeing 2 and 1. Do you know what that means, Marcy?
2 boys and 1 girl.
Okay, very good. I also say, do not give messages unless people believe in spirit. I'm not here to change. Okay, this guy was also a smart ass, because I was about to say, I'm not here to change the world. And he said, oh, but you are. Yeah, but we're going to keep that on the down low. So he wants them to know that how much he misses them and how sorry he is. Now he's showing me a wedding. Is someone about to get married? Do you know, Marcy? Is someone about to get engaged? Do you know anything about these kids?
Other than his ex-wife, mother of his children, I mean, she's in a pretty serious relationship, but
okay, very good, very good. So now when Marcy said that, I got chills, because I thought, oh, you know, I was focusing on the kids. He just told me about the kids, and then all of a sudden he's showing me a wedding. So it's like, oh, this must be one of the kids getting married. And Marcy's like, well, all I know is the mother of his kids. And for him to let me know that, yes, that's correct, he gave me chills. So if you're ever talking to someone, if you're ever talking to a medium, if you ever have something happen and you ask yourself, was that grandma that did that? And you get chills, that's confirmation from spirit. It's very easy for them to do. That's how they use it. So yes, it's about the person that his ex-wife is dating. This is actually the person that she deserves. He's letting me know that she's been in a couple of relationships where she was not really treated the way that she should be treated. And this new relationship is good for her. And he does treat her the way that she needs to be treated. He's also letting me know that she can be a little bit of a firecracker. And he does a really good job. And this probably is not the right word, of managing. Like he lets her be a firecracker to a certain extent. And he's like, yeah, you know, reel it back in. So he can have a calming factor on her when he needs to. Otherwise, he lets her be her. And not very many people will do that. And again, I'm curious. I said, really? No, why? And he's like, because most men try to control her. And she will not be controlled, as none of us really want to be controlled. But because she is such a wildfire, you know, wild thing, that people are infatuated by that and they're drawn to it. And then the more they're around it, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, they start trying to control. And then she's not having it. All right. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Marcy. Please give that message to Marcus.
I will. Thank you.
Of course. Okay, so now, Corey, unmute yourself. We're going to go back to Buddy. Now, when you are learning mediumship, not that any of you, because I don't even have class coming up to the fall, but just yeah, no. When I say I put the spirit on hold, it's difficult. It's something that you have to learn to do. It's not like when you're first starting out, you can just line spirits up and hold them energetically. It is something you have to learn to do. Okay. So I kind of had to, I'm switching energies. I'm disconnecting from Curtis. And then I had Buddy standing right next to him. And so I'm reconnecting to Buddy. Buddy lets me know, Corey, and I don't know how much you knew about him, but he self-medicated.
Self-medicated.
He's also letting me know, so this is your sister-in-law's ex-husband. So is this like your husband's sister's ex?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, sometimes I have to get flowcharts going. Not really, but in my head, you know, when you're reading people and they have all these ins and outs, you're like, okay, wait a minute, let me start making notes because I'm losing track of who's who here. Okay. What I'm about to say, Corey, I don't know that she would recognize it. I'm hearing that you recognize it because you're very intuitive and you're very good at reading people. This gentleman always loved his ex-wife.
Mhm.
He just couldn't breathe. She was absolutely the love of his life. He is taking full responsibility. And I know that it takes two to tango, but he's taking full responsibility for that relationship failing. It was almost, he's letting me know, and again, he used this claircognizantly, he's just dropped it in, that he sabotaged that relationship unconsciously. Have y'all ever seen people that you can just see it happening, like they're creating this train wreck and you're like, what are you doing? And it's because they have this unconscious fear or subconscious, whatever your word for that is, of not being able to be who she needed him to be, if that makes sense. Now, could he have been? Absolutely, he could have been. So now as a medium, I get curious. It's like, what? I'm delving deeper. It's because he always felt like, and this is not on her, this is on him, because she never made him feel this way. He always felt like he had married up.
What?
That he had married up.
Hmm.
Where is my microphone? Oh, it's way over there. I was like, can y'all hear me okay? Usually I have my microphone sitting right next to me, but I don't know how it got to the other side of my laptop. Okay, is this better? Can y'all hear me better? Hello, hello.
That's better.
Okay. So if you can let her, because she carries some guilt. He's letting me know that she carries some guilt about his passing. She feels responsible for it. And he says, absolutely not. It is all on him. Also, he wants her to know that he is the one who sends her the birds. And he is showing me cardinals, but not very often. Usually it is a robin. Now, how do I know that? Because he used my clairvoyance and he dropped in a cardinal, but the cardinal dropped in, whoop, was real quick. And the robin he held there in my vision. So I know that the cardinals aren't very often. He sends the robins more often. Now, did they have children together, Corey?
She had 3 children, but he loved them as if they were his own.
Okay, very good. Now, that makes perfect sense. How? Because I was feeling children, but I was like, because I asked her, did they have children together? Because I was feeling children. I feel that he loved children, that some children, but I didn't feel that connection I felt whenever it is a biological child. If you, and again, don't pass this along unless you believe in mediumship, but one thing, he's taking full responsibility for his own passing, and she had nothing to do with it. And he's talking about what a great mom she is. And I was like, really? Why is she a great mom? It's because she owns her mistakes. Like a lot of times as moms, you know, I'll see moms we all make mistakes, you know, but I think sometimes we're put on this earth to screw up our poor children. But she owns her mistakes. Now, there is an avenue of her life right now that she is struggling in. Do you know what that is, Corey?
Her entire life.
Yeah, well, this is another one of those things that I'm not saying everything I'm getting from spirit because we're in a group.
Yeah.
So that's when I say, do you know what I'm talking about, Corey? Corey knows what I'm talking about. I don't need to go any further. So what I will say is the only way she is going to be able to turn her life around is by some kind of counseling or AA. She's not going to be able to do it by sheer will. He is very much letting me know that she is worth it. Her children are worth it. And she needs to get help.
Mhm.
Now, how is Corey going to make that happen? She's not. But she might drop hints. She might, like a couple of days from now, Corey might come across somewhere, like she's in a store or something, and she sees pamphlets for, free, I don't know, some kind of grief counseling meeting or an AA meeting. And so she's going to grab a pamphlet and say, hey, you know what? I saw this. That's the way spirits work. They work in synchronicities. Corey can't do it on her own, but she can be a piece of the puzzle. Also, he is saying, he's talking about your baby. I know you have two. Which one is he talking about? He's talking about the baby girl, the baby. Does she have a surgery coming up?
She had surgery back in October.
Does she have another one coming up?
I hope not. Not that we know of.
So now when she said that, I'm feeling it's a surgery coming up. Now, can I be wrong? Absolutely. So when my client says she just had one, I hope she doesn't have another one coming up. I sit with the information and I ask the spirit, is it the last surgery? Dead energy. He's not talking about the last surgery. Like, okay, I can tell that Corey's like, oh, heck no, I do not want my baby having another surgery. Who does? So he's showing me a new surgery, but then he's also showing me a scale. So there is going to be a surgery coming up that she might not have to have, but you could have, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He is saying that you should have. Now, I tell, and I'm going to tell Corey this, this is what I tell all my clients. This is just a tool in your toolbox. Do not go completely off of what spirit says. So Corey, right now I can feel, and as a mama's heart, I get it. She doesn't want her baby to have surgery again. I get that. Like if she doesn't have to have surgery, we're not going to do that. The spirit is stepping up and saying she kind of needs it.
Well, and it's funny you say that though. She had her 6-month follow-up less than 2-3 weeks ago. And they mentioned later on down the line, maybe over the next few years doing it would be more cosmetic. So it would be a decision, which is where your scale is coming in.
Yep. And that's exactly what I'm feeling. And so now we're weighing in. So now that she is saying that, I'm weighing in on, okay, so it's coming up to me. There's been a couple of, I'm not going to name any names because some people on here know me, but like in the outer circles of my family, there are some people that could have had like little things done when they were kids that would have changed the way they look. But now that it wasn't taken care of when they were kids, they're having to have it taken care of as an adult. And it's causing a lot more invasiveness to them. Mm-hmm. So what he is saying is, and he's giving me chills to let me know I'm on the right track. So what he's saying is, yes, it's hard on you now, but it's going to be harder on her later. But again, let other synchronicities drop in. Don't just go off of what I'm saying. Let other synchronicities drop in. And he's saying she's a beautiful girl no matter what. Okay. I was trying to let him go. He said, she's a beautiful girl, but society as a whole are assholes. Meaning that whatever he's talking about, and Corey did mention it was cosmetic, that of course, when there are kids, we don't think anything about it, but then she might get bullied or teased as she got older. All right. Thank you, Corey.
Thanks.
Okay, so now, does anyone on here have a pet handy they want us to communicate with? Someone raise their hand. Does anyone have a pet handy? Katie, where are you, Miss Katie? Okay, Unmute yourself, Katie. Unmute yourself, Marie.
Okay. So sorry. My daughter's in the bath, so if you hear.
No, you're all good. Do you have your pet handy?
Oh, like who passed?
Oh, no, I'm talking about a pet that is alive.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Hey, can you grab them?
Yeah, I can. Let me go grab her.
We're going to talk to a pet. Okay, so this is what's called pet communication. Now, can I talk to a pet that has crossed over? Absolutely. But we're gonna do some pet. Oh, it's a kitty cat. All right, so I'm gonna let Marie kick it off. We are going to read this pet together, but Marie and I'm gonna let Marie. All right, Marie, what are you getting on this kitty cat?
It's so funny because the kitty cat comes through very nervous, like it doesn't want to be on camera. It's funny.
I was getting that.
She has anxiety so bad. It's so funny.
It's just a very shy energy. It likes to like hide and play hide and seek.
Was that a rescue, Katie?
I adopted her in Germany. She wasn't like rescued. I just found her randomly.
Mm-hmm. That's the energy.
That must be where the hide and seek. That's the hide and seek.
Yeah. So now Marie said hide and seek. I was like, really? Why does that cat like to play hide and seek? And that's what I got. Like I didn't get that she was like nurtured in a litter and that Katie went and got this cat from a litter. It was like an adoption. She said she randomly kind of found it. It had that kind of energy.
Let's see. It's funny because she struggles with she loves to be cuddled, but yet she loves her independence, and I think that comes from being on her own. So do keep working with her to keep snuggling and comforting her. She's opening up to it more and more. But yeah, I just feel like it's just something that she doesn't trust, but she truly does love you. And do you have a child?
Mm-hmm.
She feels very connected to the child.
Really? Hold on.
So when she's saying connected, Katie, like that she is like your cat's connected to the child, not that she wants that child touching her, but the cat showed me kind of looking like she wants to keep an eye on the kid. She kind of feels like it's the cat's responsibility to make sure that child is safe. So she wants to keep an eye on him. She doesn't want that kid touching her.
That's really, that's funny you say that because at the moment my 2-year-old comes around, I'm out.
Right. She doesn't want to be touched, but she wants to make sure she's keeping an eye on that child.
Oh.
Yes.
Now, when I asked why is she keeping an eye on that? Like, why is it so important to that cat to make sure she knows what your child is doing? It is because that cat felt very like lost and no one was taking care of them. That's the whole energy that cat also gives whenever, like, I'm sure every once in a while that cat will just come find you and look at you like, oh, good. Okay. Yeah, you're still here. Everything's good in my world. And she goes off.
Interesting.
It's because she wants to make sure that you're still there, like you are her anchor. And then she also doesn't want the same thing to happen to your child. So that tells me that that cat sees itself and your child on the same level. Like a cat doesn't see themselves as a cat. They see them as one of your kids.
Okay. I love that. Thank you.
Of course. Did you have anything else, Miss Marie?
No, it just truly that she's very happy in her environment. She's really embracing it as her space.
She really is.
She
Yeah,
is
she's
like
feeling-
she is like a human, the queen of the house. It is her house.
Yes. Yes, it's her space.
Very good, Marie. Very
Yes.
good. Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Also,
Okay.
whatever you give the cat that's in a can,
Uh-huh.
they really like that.
Oh my goodness. She will wake me up. She knows the time because she wants to eat her food out of her can. So,
Oh.
okay, thank
She
you.
just kept showing me a can, like yum, 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 yum.
That's so funny.
Right.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. iPhone black. Where is that? I have a dog, Tiffany. Who is that? iPhone black hawk. Where is that? Oh, there we go. Right here. iPhone black hawk. You said that you have a dog. Okay, unmute yourself, honey. Okay. I think she's having to get help. Okay, in the meantime, I see Carmen raised her hand. Miss Carmen, where are you? Oh, there you go. What you got for me, honey?
I have my two dogs. I have one sitting on my lap actually.
All right. Well, while we're waiting for iPhone Black Hawk to get her sound going, we'll read Carmen's dogs. All right. Can we see them? Cutie
Oh,
patootie.
what a sweet baby.
I know, right, Marie?
Oh,
What are you getting off that dog, Marie?
it's so funny because they're all just kind of shy today. It's like they just kind of keep peeking in. It's like they kind of want to be on the screen, but not. And they're like, I don't know if I like this attention. This dog has very playful energy. She really just feels very, very comfortable with you.
Also, Carmen, what I'm getting is that she is attached to you. Do you have a hard time even going to the bathroom without her?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're my shadows.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I forgot we were supposed to be telling you how we're getting the information. So how I saw that is that dog, I tapped to the dog and the dog showed me Carmen standing there, and it's like a string. It's tethering. It's not really a string, but the dog showed me a string tethering itself to Carmen. And she showed me Carmen moves, the dog moves. Carmen moves, the dog moves. So that dog wants to be, and they used, the dog dropped in clairvoyantly that she has to be within a certain amount of space around Carmen, or she has to go looking for her. And the dogs also show me like she'll go to sleep or close her eyes and Carmen will have been right there. And she wakes up or opens her eyes and Carmen's not there. And she's like, what? And then she's off through the house trying to find her. Is that true, Carmen?
Yeah.
All right, what else are you getting, Marie?
See, she showed me that she feels, yeah, the dog showed me kind of like
Where did Marie go? Did she disappear? Oh, we lost Marie mid-sentence. Oh, there she goes. She's back now. Oh, where'd she go? There you are, Marie. What happened?
I know. It's storming. I'm actually in South Dakota today, so it's storming here.
Okay. You were saying storming. I was gonna. Marie's from my area. It's like it's beautiful. It's not storming here. Okay, so she's.
No, the wind is terrible and it's storming, and so that's why. And I'm just on a hot spot, so I was hoping
Gotcha.
it was going to work today.
So what else are you getting, Doggy?
the dog keeps showing me that Carmen, you're like, it's almost like you're on the same wavelength, like you can read each other's minds. It's kind of fun.
Absolutely. The dog is kind of your. Okay, so what just dropped in? So Marie said that, I dropped in like, what is she talking about? And so the dog is telling me that. So if I ever say something that doesn't meet with your belief system, please let it go. But there was a soul plan before Carmen came in, and Carmen is going through a really tough time in her life. So the dog came in, they bonded to help Carmen get through this time. That dog is a very big transmuter of energy for Carmen. Have you noticed that, Carmen, that you can feel very stressed and then you sit down, that dog kind of just calms you down?
Yeah, it's actually become really my daughter's emotional support animal.
Okay.
I know her too.
So now I retap that as like, okay, I thought it was Carmen, but it's actually her daughter that she had
Oh,
this
yeah.
contract with. To
Yeah,
come-
I just kept seeing reading like reading each other.
Mhm, mhm. All right. Thank you, Miss Carmen. All right, we
Yeah.
are going to head over to, where is Black Hawk? All right. Did you get your speaker working?
I think I did.
We can hear you. Yay, yay.
Okay.
All right. Who we got here?
This is Tiffy.
Oh,
I know. Look at that.
And Toffee, come here, boo boo. Here's her sister, Toffee. So I've got Tiffy and Toffee.
Tiffy and Toffee. All right. What are you getting, Marie?
Tiffy
Come
and
here, Tiffy.
Toffee.
Hi, baby. Hi, Mama's girl. She's
Aw.
11.
Oh,
One of them is having problems
one of
Go ahead.
them's having problems with what?
with their teeth.
Toffee.
Okay.
Mhm.
My teeth started hurting.
Yeah.
Oh, poor thing.
Brush your teeth.
Does Tiffy kind of like torment Toffee?
All the time.
Wow. Maybe Tiger too.
We have a cat too. He's not here. He's my grandkitty.
No, because I just get that Toffee's like, geez, Tiffy, get away, leave me be."
Yes. Yeah. Like here they are right now.
I mean, they love each other and they're inseparable, but sometimes it's like, come on, Tiffy, just back off a little.
Yeah, she's a lot younger. And she's got a lot more energy.
Mhm. Yes, yes, yeah.
But let me tell you, Toffee would take anybody out if they touched Tiffy.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Baby.
Okay, I
Come on,
have
Miss
to ask, no, I'm sorry, what is your name? I keep calling you iPhone Blackhawk, but
Terry.
Terry. All right, Miss Terry. Okay, this is a weird question, but I was just tapping in them collectively and they kept showing me dog poop. Is there like, has someone been complaining about picking their poop up? What is this dog poop that they're talking about?
Toffee, I had a German Shepherd named Tara, and Tara was a rescue, and she used to eat her poop. And she taught Toffee how to eat her poop because Tara wasn't given food.
Oh,
So to survive, Tara ate her own poop so she could survive. And then when she got here, even though she had food, it was still something that she did. And then Toffee started doing it.
okay. And Tara is in spirit?
Yeah, well, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now for everyone watching, I just kept seeing this. I kept seeing poop. I was like, what is this? I didn't know what this poop was about. I felt kind of weird asking her about what is this dog poop. So as she's telling the story, then I started tapping into Toffee, and Toffee is telling me that Tara is still around them,
Yes.
that she is still in your house. And so now I'm tapping into Tara, who is in spirit. Be ready, Maria. I'm gonna give it back to you to read the live animals. But Tara she's showing me being so thankful. You were so patient with Tara when she came to you. I mean, she had habits that some of us would have either given her back, or even she is showing me some people would have put her to sleep over some of the habits that she had. But you were so patient with her, and she wants you to know just how thankful she is that you gave her another lease on life. And she felt so loved. Like almost she couldn't believe it, because she is showing me, Tara is showing me she's alive and she's sleeping, and she would wake up and almost be shocked that she is still in this beautiful environment where she is loved and has food. Also has water. I mean, she wasn't even given water, is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just see her going over to the water bowl and being so thankful. Also, you were very particular about having clean water for the dogs all the time. Reminds me of me. We have 2 Great Danes. I mean, it can be halfway down, but if I see there's a lot of like slobber, or they put a piece of food or something in the water, I dump it and refill it. And you were the same way. She loved that fresh water. Yes, she loved the food, but something about that fresh water was just so amazing to her. And she wants to thank you for that.
Wow.
What about
Okay,
Tatum?
Marie, back over to you for the live one.
I had a chocolate lad named Tatum that was with Tara. I had Tara, Tatum, and Toffee.
That real quick, the chocolate lab was showing me he had hip problems. I was like, are you over there? And this dog comes up kind of limping with his back. Not that he's limping in heaven. They're just showing that to show me that they limped on earth, so that we know
Yes.
that. I have, yeah. So he is over there. Okay, what you got, Marie?
Is there, okay, so does Tiffy steal Toffee's treats?
Toffee steals Tiffy's treats.
Okay, because I just keep seeing like bantering, and I just, for some odd reason, I thought it was Tiffy because she's so sassy, but okay. Maybe that's why she harasses Toffee so much, because he steals her treats.
Yes.
There's just a lot of bantering going back and forth
Yes.
between the 2 of them. They are so funny.
Yeah, come here, boo boo.
Do they ever
So
talk about
she's like, she's, how is she saying this? Is there any way that you could give her treats separately so that she at least gets them?
I do. That's so funny. I do. I have to feed Tiffy. Her food is on my bed, so Toffee doesn't get it. And Tiffy hides her treats on my bed. So
Okay.
because Toffee can't climb up on my bed and get them because it's too high up.
That's so cute.
Okay, so that must be, she's like, thank you, because she goes, at least I get them once in a while.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Thank you, Terry, for letting us read your animals. Now, I heard someone talking in the background. Did they have a question?
My son had a question about the cat, Tiger.
Can you
What
be
about
my
him?
cat?
Does Tiger, well,
Like, do they ever talk about Tiger, or what do they feel about him?
He's a nuisance. Like, it's one of those things where they tolerate the presence of the cat, but it's not like they want to be involved with the cat.
Oh my God.
It's like that
Okay.
brother, or, it's that sibling that you don't get along, you don't like them, but if they were to disappear, you'd miss them.
okay.
Yes.
Are Scared of him at
Yeah,
all?
because it's kind of like, I guess the way they presented it to me is kind of like, we were in the family and then you got married, and this is like the stepbrother kind of thing, or stepsister. Like, you tolerate them, you do love them, but if you know what I mean,
Yes.
it's kind of how they presented with the kitty cat.
What are you guys doing? Hi, girl.
All right,
Okay.
we'll read one more animal, and then we'll go back and close it down with some people. What Kelsey has her name. Kelsey is next. Kelsey, my dad went to get. Okay, Miss Kelsey, where are you?
I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, we have an echo.
Feedback. Okay, I got her.
You're
All right.
good.
Marie, you
hold
see
Yes. Oh,
that dog?
now see, this energy of this puppy is like a little more curious. Actually
This is
looking at the camera
Fiona.
like, haha, see me. Fiona's like, see me, haha, here I am.
This dog actually feels more human than the rest of them.
Yes. Yes.
This dog feels like he is Like you see how he's just in front of the camera. He's like, yeah,
Yes,
here.
very comfortable.
Yeah.
But then it's so funny because the personality is like, I'll look at the camera, but then I'm going to look away from you because I'm better than you.
100%.
That dog is also very proud of the fact that she is fast.
She is fast.
She's very proud of that. Like there is no catch. If she doesn't want to be caught, you can forget it.
Yeah.
She is fast.
That is very accurate.
Yes, I will not be contained.
Right.
Yep. Very free, very free. Oh,
How is she doing?
let's see. What
How
do
is
you
she
want?
feeling physically?
I was just about to tell. So for those of you watching, Marie is learning to communicate with animals. And so the more you practice and the more that you're given direction and everything, the smoother it goes and the faster it is. I was just about to tell Marie to scan Fiona because I was getting something on the health. So I was just going to tell Marie to scan them. Marie's great when it comes to that, just so we're clear.
I feel like the back hips ache. So I don't know if she's getting a little like arthritis in her hips. But what's honestly strange too that came was something with like around her eyes for me.
Is Fiona old? How old is she, Kelsey?
She's 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as I scanned her, I just got an overall, everything is starting to kind of stop working. And when I say stop working, I don't mean to shut down, but it's just, as humans, our avatar body will only last so long. And then we start having problems here and there. And that's what I was feeling off of her, like just an overall. Also, I'm feeling.
Yeah, I feel foggy. Like she's just kind of, in her mind, she's still a puppy, but in her body, she's just struggling back and forth. And it's just,
Also, I'm hearing that her food needs to be changed.
Oh.
Has she been on the same food for a long time?
She has. And she's just recently started, like in the last couple of weeks, like probably a week or two, being slower about eating it.
Oh, okay. Very good. So just for everyone watching, if you have dogs will give you clues. Like she's starting to be slower about eating it. Something is off. Like dogs are very in tune. Dogs are very intuitive. And so something about this food isn't right. And so when I asked the dog, because I was seeing that food need to be changed, and when I asked the dog, what is it? I heard geriatric. So she needs to be on a food for older dogs. Also, she's showing me, and I don't know exactly what she is showing me. I'm seeing some kind of oil being added to the food. So I don't know if there is some kind of oil.
Does she like it or not?
She doesn't like it, but she knows she needs it.
I just started adding CBD oil to her food.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I think I think that maybe that's where I'm getting like the foggy kind of calmness. I think that's what she doesn't like because it's taking away her alertness, but yet she knows she needs it to just kind of calm like all of her aches and pains and nerves. So she's in tune that she knows she needs it. It's the puppy kind of vibe in her that she doesn't want to give up her alertness, I guess is what it is. She likes to be on point, but that just kind of takes it away, is what I'm getting from her.
Very good. All right.
But she loves that you care enough to, keep up with her.
Does she want a puppy? My daughter wants to get her a puppy, but I think she'd hate it.
I don't hear about
I think that,
no.
yeah, I think she would feel It's not like she wouldn't welcome the company, but a puppy would be too overwhelming because it would be too much.
Yeah.
Why she is showing
So
that,
maybe
and
you
she's not-
could like rescue an older dog.
she's showing me that the puppy jumping on her and it hurting her. Like she's in more pain than what she lets on. I actually would not be like I would suggest even maybe putting her on some actual pain medicine instead of CBD.
She is on some, but I can probably get a higher one. She still
may
loves to
find out
run and play.
all the drugs.
Yeah. But she still runs and won't let you catch her.
Yes.
That was very, she was very proud of that. That's the first thing she showed me. As y'all knew from what I said, that she's very fast, and if she doesn't want to be caught, she's not going to be caught.
Every day.
Thank you, thank you. I had no idea. You know, I do these free demystifying spirits all the time. I had no idea that everyone's going to be so happy about their puppies being read.
I bet you a lot of people just don't even realize it's a thing.
That you can read, yeah. So how fun is that? Okay, so we can either close it down with another puppy, another dog, animal, doesn't have to be a dog, or we can close it down with a spirit. What would y'all like to have to happen? Any takers? All right, then we're going to close it down with a spirit. I am going to start doing these. Like I said, I'm going to try to start doing them monthly. We'll see just how much draw they get. I had started to advertise my classes, but you can tell they're fun, and I think people just want to know. They think it's something heebie-jeebie and weird, but communicating with spirit is not. It's just learning it. Okay. So now what happens as a medium, there's different levels of energy, okay? So when you're reading energy, there is psychic, there's past loved ones, there are spirit guides, there's ascended masters, there's angels, there's source. So what we were just doing is we were kind of tapping psychic energy because we're reading. When you come and ask questions like, am I going to get that job? That's psychic. That's what's going on right now. You're reading the energy. So we were reading these animals psychically. So now what I do as a medium, I'm kind of disconnecting from psychic, and I'm, again, expanding my energy and raising my vibration to tap back into the spirit realm. The first, this is a grandmother energy stepping up, but she wasn't called grandma. She was called something with an M name, like Mama or Mimi or Mima, something like that. This lady is showing me. So as I'm saying that, she dropped a picture in clairvoyantly. She showed me her in the kitchen, but it's funny, she only showed me the back of her. And so as I'm seeing that, she is talking and she's looking over her shoulder cooking. I just know from reading so much that when a spirit shows me that, they spend a ton of time in the kitchen. She's letting me know her love language was cooking and food. She's shown me this 3 times. If I'm kind of hesitant to show something or talk about something, a spirit shows it to me 3 times. I'm like, okay, let me go there. She had a big butt, she's saying. But she's laughing about it. Because as I'm seeing her, the back of her, I noticed first off, like, because it was emphasized. I wouldn't have normally noticed that she had big rear end, whatever we all do as we get older, or most of us do. Some of you freaks of nature continue to be thin as you get older, but that is not the case for most of us. Okay, so I noticed that she had a big rear end, but I didn't think much about it. But then she emphasized it. I was like, oh, so I need to talk about that. So and then she's laughing at me. As she's laughing, I'm hearing kind of a cackle. Like she is someone who, when she laughed, you wanted to laugh along with her just because she was laughing. I'm also noticing that her teeth are almost too perfect. She had false teeth. So we have a lady here who was a grandmother energy. She had an M name. Her love language was food. She always liked to feed people. She had a big rear end. She had false teeth. She's also letting me know that so now she is moving around her kitchen and she is showing me a cookbook. I was like, why are we showing that? All of a sudden, this cookbook turns into index cards and she hands them to me. There are recipes still here on planet that were hers. Now she she showed me so much clairvoyantly. It's taking me a little bit to get through the information because I'm still trying to work through that original picture and she is giving me new information. On the original picture, I saw that she had gray hair. When I see gray hair, it tells me that this lady did not dye her hair. She let herself go gray. She's also, I'm seeing a little bit puffy, so she would like tease it. And I'm feeling the need to push up glasses. She wore glasses. She is showing, she moved out of the way and I was like, what are you showing me? She had a cast iron skillet. You would remember her cooking out of a cast iron skillet. Now she is going back to, she's showing me a pie and then she's referencing again her big ribbon. Now, because I've read so many people, I understand what she is saying to me, that she liked her sweets and that's why she had gained weight. She wasn't going to give them up. She wasn't going to give up her sweets. I'm not saying she overdid it, but she was not going to eat like a rabbit, she is saying. Now, as we are, all of a sudden she pops me into the living room. I can hear the TV and I see Golden Girls playing. Y'all remember that show? She is showing me Golden Girls. She is having me sweep her house. I don't see anyone else there with her. So she was a widow towards the end of her life. Well, she lived by herself. So either she was a widow or her spouse was in, nope, she was a widow. So I was about to say she was either a widow or her spouse was in a home, but she popped me over to a cemetery to tell me no, her husband had passed. She is showing me that though she loved her husband and she would not have given up the life she had with him, she loved the freedom that she also had. So it wasn't like she was wishing death on her spouse, but it wasn't like she just sat back and deteriorated. She went on to grieve him and continued like driving and, doing all the things. Now, something that she showed me in the beginning, which I didn't really catch on to, but now she's showing it to me again. You know those, I call them old lady pants. I'm very sorry if anyone here wears them. But you know those knit pants with the elastic waist? I call this old lady pants. She's showing me wearing those. She's also taking me to her bathroom. Now I was like, why are we going to the bathroom? On the back of the toilet, she is showing me, and I don't know what brand it is, but she's showing me a container of powder, but it has a little knob or something on top. You know how those older ladies, I don't know why they did that. Like they would use powder, just bath powder after they bathed or showered or whatever. But because she's being so specific, she's showing me this powder. It has there was one kind of powder that she liked. Would she use others? Yes, but there was one kind of powder that she really liked. Okay, does this lady sound familiar to anyone?
She could be my grandmother.
Yeah, she is your grandmother. Now, how do I know that? Because I knew about when I said, where was I in this reading? I was early on in this reading. And I just kept, all of a sudden, I found myself just talking to Tessa. Y'all wouldn't know that because y'all are on my screen. But I found myself all of a sudden just giving all the information to Tessa. And I realized I was doing that. And this lady said, yep, she's mine. Because in my head, this lady could hear me questioning, why am I talking to Tessa? I have a whole screen of people here. Then she said, yes, she's mine. So now, did you call her Mima or Momo? What did y'all call her?
So this is Nanny. I have a Meemaw, but this is Nanny.
This is Nanny. Mima is also in spirit?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what happened is because I was so clearly getting this M name, and this will happen a lot in a one-on-one reading, people will say, oh, well, I had a Mima, but that sounds like my nanny. It means I had two spirits step up and one just kind of took over. So what does that tell me? It tells me that Nanny had a much stronger personality than Mima.
Okay.
Now, on Earth, was Nanny more of a stronger personality? Did you have a bigger connection to her?
Actually, no. And my sister was in here with me. She knew Nanny better than a little bit more than I did. She spent more time with her. So I really wish she didn't leave so she could be here for this. But really, I feel like I knew Meemaw better. I have a feeling though. I don't know if I can keep talking. Should I keep
I
talking?
want to stop you for a moment because I want
Okay.
everyone to see what happened here. Okay, so she's saying no, that she knew Meemaw better, but she's saying my sister knew Nanny better and she was just here. So now I know that Nanny really has a message to give to her sister.
Can I check to see if she can get back on?
I will just, this is recorded and
Okay.
it will, within a few days, it will be on my YouTube channel.
Okay, I was hoping she was in here still, but I just
Okay,
checked.
so now she's showing me your sister has been going through a tough time and she's been trying to make a lot of decisions in her life. Do you know what Nanny's referencing? Okay, so now she's not sure. So I go back to Nanny. I was like, okay, give me more information. Has your sister like recently graduated college? Has she been thinking about going back to school? What is this school? What is this?
She's talked about wanting to go back to school for a while.
Okay, so now what I'm feeling here is that there is a lot going on in your sister's head that no one knows about. And I'm actually that kind of person. You can be extremely close to me. You can be in my inner circle and be one of my best friends, and you'll have no idea some of the things that's going on in my head or some of the plans I'm making. Like Marcy is not on here. Marcy, I know her pretty well. I had a whole business plan mapped out. I mean, I'm about to kick it off. Marcy had no idea. I called her. I was like, hey, I need your feedback. And she said, you're doing what? I mean, I've been planning this for months. And she just didn't know because I don't tell people things. Your sister's the same way. She doesn't tell people things unless it doesn't really matter or unless she has it worked out in her head. Do you know that about your sister?
Okay, I did not expect that because we are very, very close.
Mm-hmm. You have to ask her because I've actually had a lot of people say that, and sometimes they get offended because they won't know some of my deepest, darkest things, and they feel like we're very close, and we are. It's just that's not my personality. It's not my personality to talk about things. I'm like Fort Knox. Probably has something to do with my job. Tell me something. So what she is saying is that your sister has some big plans. Like there's things she wants to accomplish. And to do that, she needs to go back to school.
Okay.
And she's saying there's no time like the present. I'm going to ask, what's the holdup? Why wouldn't your sister go back to school? I'm seeing just a lot of things like life in general. She's so busy. There's the money. There's that. And she's like, honey, you're going to get older and you're going to have these things anyway. You might as well accomplish your goals. Your sister also talks to your nanny a lot. Whether it's in her head or out loud, she talks to her a lot and she wants to acknowledge that she hears her. Also, Tessa, she is saying she's not going to leave you out. For you, have you heard like a door squeaking in your house? And I just hear your house making a noise. Have you noticed that?
No.
And you don't have to. So a lot of times whenever you come to a medium and they tell you something, how many times does your house make a noise? Does a door squeak and you blow it off? So this is where I tell my clients every single time, and I wake up to information from them frequently. Okay, when it happens, now she's going to be on the lookout. I can see her now. There is a chair you sit in, and when you sit in a chair, Tessa, you tend to like curl your legs up under you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because now Tessa said she didn't recognize it. So I went back to the grandma and I was like, let's make this clear. And so she showed me Tessa sitting there. It's quiet. There is, your legs are curled up under you and you're looking at a book. But when you hold your book, sometimes you don't do it like this. You will do your books like this.
Yes.
So she shows me you sitting there, legs curled under. Your book is like this. And there's a noise in your house. That's going to be her.
Okay.
Now, though Tessa did not recognize that there has been a noise in her house, now she's going to be on the lookout for it because the grandmother gave me enough information. I mean, how would I possibly know that Tessa sits when she sits down and she's looking at her book? Because I don't hold my books like this. It's bad for the spine, so I don't do it. I hold my books like this. So how would I know that she did that? And how would I know that she curled her legs up under it, except the grandmother told me? So she gave me enough information now that Tessa's going to be on the lookout. And so this is also a way that spirit will extend the joy of the reading, because it could be over and it would be done well. But nope, in the next 2 weeks, and I know that because I saw the number 2, that Tessa is going to be sitting there with her legs like that, looking at the book, and she's going to hear it. And I just see her looking up and smiling like, oh, there's Nanny. All right, a little bit over. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Thank you, thank you. I want Sophia to stay behind, please, Sophia. Sophia, for those of you that give me a thumbs up. Sophia is the editor of the book Iris and I just finished writing, and so she had some questions for me. So if there's any mistakes once that book is published, who are we going to blame? I'm teasing Sophia. All right, do we have any last minute questions for me? Oh, all right. I want to thank everyone for joining me. Be on the lookout. I'm sure I'll do it again in June, and we'll do more animals again. I didn't realize it was going to be such a hit.
I have a question if I'm allowed to ask this.
Of course.
Does Nanny have anything to say about my son?
Okay, so because this is not a one-on-one reading, and I don't have enough time to just go through everything she just said about your son, what is your question? Like, can you give me a direction of which way you want this answered?
I have been recently very worried about him development.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so now this, for everyone watching, is a very sticky situation. The first thing I came through was about his health, and that's the reason I nailed her down, because I wasn't going to mention it if that wasn't what she was talking about, because I didn't want to worry her. Does your son kind of walk in his tippy toes sometimes?
He has been limping lately.
Limping. Okay. I'm feeling it is more, and so this is where I say, make sure you are just using what I say as a tool in your toolbox. You're using it to direct you. I am not here to diagnose anyone. I'm feeling a little bit of Asperger's with him, Asperger's.
Okay. That was my concern.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like it is something he can be taught to function in society with it.
Okay.
All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.